Hey guys, Youngblood here, and today I wanted to talk about the Battlefield 4 beta that just was released today, and it's the Conquest map on the Siege of Shanghai. Now, let's start off with some of the positives, and there's these pure epic Battlefield moments like parachuting off of a giant skyscraper, having your shoot fail, and then deciding to pull it again just to save your ass right before you hit the littered ground. It was some beautiful scenery around you. So that's something that's a very good positive, is the map is very, very pretty. You can see even the mini-map looks pretty good. Now, it's exactly what you would expect, and in all reality, first impressions, it's very similar to Battlefield 3. Now, the feel's a little bit different. The weapons feel like they respond a little bit differently, and in all honesty, I haven't played enough to tell you if there's more recoil or less recoil. It just feels different, but the mechanics of the game are very, very similar, and I think that's kind of what we expected to actually see out of this. Flag capturing mechanics are all about the same, but there's cool new weaponry, and this thing I'm using, I'm trying to kill a tank, and that wasn't until afterwards I looked it up and found out that it's an air burst, meaning that you can shoot it above cover, and it will start to kill the campers that are actually behind whatever cover, so that's actually pretty cool. Do your research, though, is the lesson that I learned. Now, there's other cool things like user interactive stuff like this elevator and cue the girl from Ipanema song. But you do have the option to go up things like elevators and, there's other user interactive type things that are out there. And that's pretty cool because it's something that wasn't really in Battlefield 3. And you can see all of a sudden I'm on top of on top of the ceiling. And then here's going to be another example. We're driving around in a tank, and they have what's called ballards in the ground. I believe I got that terminology right. But essentially, the other team or yourself can pull up things that are in the ground to kind of create a natural barricade, making it harder for you to get across. So you can't just plow your tank through it. You need to get out, go over, drop the ballards, and then you can actually get across. So I don't know if there's actually any way around this. Again, I've only put in about an hour, maybe a little bit more in this game so far. But it is interesting. It's a lot of fun so far. And the scenery is really nice. It looks better visually than Battlefield 3. And I think that's something that we kind of expected. And there was the ballards right there. I dropped it so the tank can now get across. Frostbite 3 is doing a good job with destruction and ambient environment. As far as, somebody blows the side of a building off, it creates a nice layer of dust. There's a lot of destructible elements, and it creates a really interesting and engaging environment that I think wasn't necessarily in place. One thing that I do like is the starting sniper rifles feel much more rewarding and a lot more fun than the ones the crappers that they gave you in Battlefield 3. Namely, you get a bolt action. In beta, at least, you also get this spotting tool, and it's a laser designator, but it seems to be a little bit more than that. It also gives you the infrared, meaning it's easier to spot enemy targets, and if you're hitting your Q button like you should be doing, it's going to allow you to spot enemy targets for your teammates a little bit better, and you get points for doing so it's a good game plan. But all in all, sniping feels interesting. The scope glare is just like Battlefield 3 when it first came out. It looks like you're staring straight into the sun. There's a cool knife animation that's back too. There it is. It's one of those things that if you haven't played in a while or you've never played a Battlefield title, it'll make you jump. But it's definitely back. So watch your back or just be ready to pee a little bit in your pants. Now, the swimming mechanic I like a lot better. You're not doing the lame breaststroke. You can see you're doing the actual freestyle. One thing that I really like about this, outside of just the visual of the splashing water, is you can pull your secondary. That's something that you weren't really able to do before, and it just gives you a little bit better hope when you're actually out there in the water. So you're not just basically, SOL. Now, if you're watching the screen right now, you're going to see me typing to others, and this is where we get into the negatives of this so far. The big problem is probably what you would expect. There's a lot of bugs right now, and specifically by bugs, I mean lag. I was going from 60 frames a second and then drastically dropping down to about 15. That was a real big pain, and it's been my biggest determining factor as far as not having a lot of fun with this. Now, it's still enjoyable, and I'm liking the experience so far. But just knowing that everybody's having these issues lets us all know it's a good reminder that this is day one. We should expect for things to be fixed as we move forward. But it's annoying where it stands right now. Now, I haven't found a whole lot of other bugs, but this one was really annoying. And I've got it a couple times, but after I use my sniper rifle, switching over to the pistol and not being able to get those shots off was a real drag, and that was something that I've noticed to this point. The only other thing that you guys need to really be cautious of or just aware of is these servers are crashing a lot right now. And it can be really frustrating, especially if you're on the edge of having a pretty epic or fun moment. A classic Battlefield moment is shooting down a chopper, and you can see here that I am getting my gun on target. Boom! I hit him. He's about to go down. I'm about to get some sweet points and a kill, and the game crashed. And that's happened a couple times. Now, I'm not great enough right now where I'm really having too many of those issues, but it's frequent enough where it's kind of a pain. So just be aware that that's something going on. Now, I'm going to play a lot more of this over the next couple days, and I'll keep bringing you guys footage and experience notes. So if you're interested in more Battlefield 4 content, make sure you give this a like. If you haven't yet, hit subscribe, and I'll have more information for you guys later. So thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.